Well, welcome to the College of Misericordia Library. Some of you remember this was the library, and you could check out either of our books if you wanted to, right? There are pictures around on the side walls of different sisters. Some of you might remember Crescentia, for example, from chemistry. Regina Kelly, I've got a picture downstairs that I'll show you of Regina Kelly. So they're in here and they describe them, but you can find Teresa Walsh in here, but not much about her. Now remember, she's not in the original shoveling picture because she passed away in 1920. They broke ground the next year. So she's not even in those pictures that you'll see in the library or over here, the different pictures. She's not in those. So Teresa Walsh is in here with the little bio, but she's really not been noted, okay? And you look at the list of the names of the sisters who are part of the Mulieres Fortis, right? The valiant women, or leading through the decades of different sisters. And some of you will remember Sister Miriam Teresa. I think you remember. She was the one here for the flood. So the well cut them down. That's Miriam Teresa. Sister Miriam Gallagher. So there's some sisters back in there. We went to lay presidents in the mid-'70s and have been that way so over 40 years. So where's Teresa Walsh? Well, we just walked right past her, and nobody stopped and even looked and said hello to her. Teresa Walsh was the daughter of a wealthy family in Wilkes-Barre. The Second National Bank, some of you have been down where the Vault is, a place called the Vault. They got great steaks and pork chops, by the way. The Vault was the Second National Bank. Teresa Walsh's father was a vice president in that bank. So he was a man of some means. So Teresa, before she entered the order, had a painting made, or sometime after, of her before she entered the order. So she's the only sister I can find here that is shown in just regular clothes. And we just walked right by her. She's right here on the wall. This is Teresa Walsh right outside. So if you come back out, then we're going to go down to the first floor and we'll wander in my office so you can see Regina Kelly. But she's right here on the wall. This is Teresa Walsh. That's her.
She is a nun at this point or not yet?
We don't know exactly when this was painted, I don't think. But I think, no, it doesn't look like a nun at that point. So they painted her as a young woman. So this is Teresa Walsh. This is our founder. But she doesn't look like a sister in that picture. She looks like a young woman who's, part of society. So just like Catherine Mcauley. Catherine Mcauley is a very wealthy young woman. Not young, but she did. So Catherine Mcauley is a young woman whose parents died. She's adopted by a Protestant family. As her adopted father is preparing to go, he's dying, she tells him she's going to become a Catholic. So Catherine Mcauley is living in Dublin. She wants to start a school, a place to learn for women and children. Women aren't allowed to do this kind of nonsense in 1830s Ireland. Only men could do this, or nuns. Nuns could do it. Catherine, if you read her biography, and I'm reading between the lines, decides to become a sister, because sisters can do this. So she goes to become a sister. She goes to the various orders and asks them about, because she wants to start this home for women and children. They said, that's not our thing. We don't, no. We like prayer, we're cloistered. We like to stay in. We don't go wander the streets looking for trouble. And Catherine Mcauley wanted to go wander the streets and look for troubled women and children. So she starts the Sisters of Mercy. So she starts her own order up. And she's got some women who help her, like Frances Ward, who become a sister. And there's others who help her, which is now the modern-day Mercy Associates in my mind. There's about 45 of us, I think, on campus who are now Mercy Associates. It's It's open to people of all faiths. We have our first Jewish Mercy Associate this year. But there's a lot of faculty, staff, and students who are joining the Mercy Associates. So we're part of Catherine's team. She builds this monstrous place for the women and children right across from the rich people. So the rich people every day walk out and see this zoning board nightmare. When they're bad to the women and children and throw them out in the street, she goes and gets them. She teaches them trades, teaches them how to be educated, and then they go get jobs. And what do we do now? We bring in the daughters of the coal miners. We give them education. We give them confidence. And they go and they do great things in the world. So it's the same model replicating itself. But there's our St. Teresa. So that's why that Villa St. Teresa in my mind. I'm asking people that, and people are like, I don't think so. Ann Pay was the one. I think some of you know Sister Ann Pay. So she said, there's a book, and gave me a page out of the book and confirmed that's what's going on. So it was Teresa Walsh, but you can't be naming your place after some sister. It's got to be some saint. So St. Teresa of Avila. That's good. So we're going to go back downstairs. You might remember on both sides are the steps that are kind of creaky that the students always had to use. They're still creaky and the students have to use them, but they can use the center steps as well. So the elevator's there. We're going to go down to my office so we can visit. Some of you wanted to visit with Regina Kelly for a moment. So we'll go there and then that'll end our tour. Okay?